name is Sandra. Welcome to Teen Night. Today we're going to be making paper roses. Let's get started. Alright, so let's take a look at our materials. We're going to need scissors, glue, and something to write with. And of course, you're going to need two 8x11 sheets of paper. And then the rest of the paper that you're going to use could be a 4x4, and they could be any color that you like. There's also some string and some glue dots that you can use if you need something more sticky. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is grab our sheets of paper and our pencil, and we're going to make a spiral. You can start it from the inside and then just go all the way around. And now once we've done that, we're just going to cut our little spiral out. Alright, so once you've gone all the way around and you're all done, just make sure to cut off the little square edges so that it's still pretty much a circular shape. And you don't always have to do it with a pencil outline. You can just grab your paper and start cutting out a spiral, but do whatever you're most comfortable with. And it all works the same way. Just choose one of your edges and start cutting all the way around until you get to the center. Okay, so here we're all done, and once again, just cut off the edges so that you can keep the circular shape. And here I did two at a time, which you can do, but I think it's nicer when you do them individually just because it makes your rose shape different when you're all done. Okay, so I'm gonna finish up the rest of my spirals and I'll be right back. Now that we're all done with our spirals, we're gonna start rolling them into roses. And what we're gonna use here is our glue and a toothpick. That way we can roll everything up. But let's start with gluing just all the way around your spiral. And this is so that when you're rolling it, it can actually kind of stick and hold its shape. You can also do it without the glue, but I find that when you do that, it's kind of harder for it to actually stay closed up. It just opens up and it's harder to keep it closed at the end. Alright, so once we have enough glue on there, let's grab our toothpick, or if you grabbed one of our craft kits, it's actually a coffee stirrer, but just put it on the outer edge and then start rolling it. And continue rolling it all the way through. And then whenever you're comfortable with the shape or how it's going and you don't feel like you need the toothpick or the coffee stirrer anymore, just take it out and continue rolling it on your own. And I like to loosen it up as it gets to the end. That way it just gives it a prettier shape. And once you're done, kind of just hold it for a second or a few seconds actually. That way it can hold its shape and it'll stick better. And once you're done, just set it down and let it dry. So let's do that one more time. We start off, like I said, with our glue. So just glue all the way around. Alright, so now we're gonna grab our toothpick and we're gonna put it again on the outer edge of the spiral and then just start rolling it towards the center. Alright, Alright, so once you start getting towards the end, make sure that you keep holding it down. That way the glue can stick and hold its place. And then a lot of times when you do kind of let go of it, it starts spreading out, which is fine. It'll stop at a certain point because you've already have the shape for it, and then the glue will help it stick. And if it doesn't, just add some glue dots or add more glue. Alright, so we're going to set it down to dry, and I'm going to finish doing the rest of my spirals, and I'll be right back. Alright, so you can see we have all of our roses up here, and now we're going to start working with our 8x11 sheets of paper. I have already folded them both in half, so it'll make it easier. We're going to just grab our colored paper and put it inside, but we kind of want the whites to show. So now we're going to grab our scissors, and we're going to cut out about an inch from the shorter end. And we're also going to cut about half an inch from the longer edge. Once you've cut everything out, you're going to take your glue and just spread it all over the outside of your colored paper. We're going to do all the front and the back as well. Now we're going to take our white paper, open it up, center our pink paper, and then just press it down so that it can stick on there. And like I said, make sure that it's centered. Once that's done, just continue pressing it down, and it should stick nicely that way. So now you have the pink paper on the inside with the pretty white border. Now we're moving on to our brown paper and our string. So we're going to take our string and just make a bow. Pretty simple enough. If you want the little ends to be shorter, just go ahead and cut them, but I thought they were fine like this. So just when you're happy with it, set it down and move on to your brown paper. For this, we're trying to make a vase for our roses, so I'm going to make a trapezoid shape. And for that is just going to be cutting along the edges, making one end shorter than the other. Alright, so at the end you should be left with the shape that looks something like this. So at this point we already have all of our parts for our card, so we're just going to start assembling it. So I'm going to start with our vase for our flowers. Just make sure I find the spot that I like the best for it and glue it down. And we're going to do the same with our bow. Put some glue on there. This one might take a little bit more glue than normal. And then just plop it down. And now it's time for our roses. I usually like to kind of set them down where I think they're going to look the nicest. So just kind of put them down and see what position you like them in the best. Alright, so I think this is a pretty good place for my roses. Now I'm going to take my glue and glue them down. Alright, so here's my finished card. I think it looks pretty nice. I did move the flowers around a bit more, but I'm happy with how it turned out. And anytime you do them, it's always going to come out differently. I had another example here, and I think it looks just as pretty, even though it has more flowers and the vase is bigger. And there's also a little mini version that I made right here. I thought it was really cute, so if you don't want to make a big card, you can make 2 little ones, and everything's the same. You just cut everything in half. Alright, so I also want to let you guys know about our secret code for this week. It is Tea and Roses. So go to your Library Lovers account and enter Tea and Roses to get your tea night badge, okay? Thanks for watching.